Evil. It's not a goal people consciously set for themselves, yet millions, billions, have been embraced by its seductive coils. It can hide behind a variety of guises: power, desire, competition, justification, self-interest. Though most profess their innocence, each of us has faced it in our lives. Each of us has touched it, however briefly. The Bible calls it sin and has identified its root: the love of money. If the thought of an honest wage to cover honest expenses seems like a sign of stunted growth, if it doesn't matter where the profit comes from or where it goes, watch out. Trade and barter are real. Cash can be used for anything or activity. It's an abstract. Money comes from nowhere and promises everything. If your motives aren't clean, money itself becomes evil. But when we don't have enough money, enough evil, the world tells us we're losers. So what determines our place in society is not how much kindness is in our hearts, but how much evil is in our wallets. Typically, we distill effort into value in 2-week batches. We look forward to it. We need it. We call it payday. A lack of this evil can cost us dearly.
What? They can't do that. No way. You stop them. You get my little girl back.
I'm sorry, Mr. Barnett, but the judge's decision has already been handed down. I did everything I could. Unfortunately, the law allows us no further appeals.
Don't hand me that book. You're a lawyer. You're supposed to help me. What am I paying you for?
Actually, you're not, Mr. Barnett. I'm a public defender. My bill isn't your responsibility. As for your daughter, I know there's nothing I can say that will make this any easier. But the judge feels she'll be better off with foster parents as providers. I'm not saying it's fair.
Fair? Fair? You ask Katie about fair. She wants to stay with me. She won't go.
She doesn't have a choice. None of us do. I'll see you tomorrow at 10.
Sweet Jesus, what kind of country sends a child from a dad?
New York State Courthouse, Staten Island, the next day.
Would you care to say anything before I give my ruling, Mr. Barnett?
Please, Your Honor. Katie's all I got. You can't take her away from me. She's only 14, but she knows so much. This whole thing is tearing her to pieces. She deserves better than all this.
I would agree, Mr. Barnett. That is why, after a long and difficult deliberation, I've decided to remove her from your care and put her in a new set of circumstances. This, I believe, is for her own good. I have considered the fact that Kate values you as her father and her stated wish to remain a part of your household. This decision has been one of the toughest of my career. Since the death of your wife 15 months ago, the state has been reviewing your files. At the time of Kate's adoption in 1982, you and your wife were able to provide a stable, safe environment. Unfortunately, the untimely loss of your wife has removed the mother figure from the child's life. Add to that your steady lack of employment for over 11 months and your current living conditions. I feel I have no choice but to place her with foster parents who might better provide for her future. If in the coming years you can show this court a living situation conducive to a young teenager's needs, an auxiliary appeal may be filed. Do you understand?
He understands, all right. 12 years of love, caring, and tenderness mean nothing if you can't afford to pay for a college education. Fred Barnett doesn't have enough money, enough evil. Somewhere in time. The dancing flame and Hell's 8th level are laced with the scent of bile and other organic matter. Overseeing the unimaginable area, its self-imposed ruler dominates all. He is the Malebolgia, a devil. One of many who occupy the myriad layers which comprise this place. His ultimate goal, the building of armies consisting of lost souls from the various dimensions. They will eventually carry out his standard against heaven at Armageddon. At the fore will be his officers, these most excellent of the damned, singled out for their achievements in combat, will drill their nightmarish tactics into the troops at their disposal. These are his elite. These are his hellspawn. Each has a specific destiny to fulfill, though none realized it at the time of their recruitment. It is one such spawn who is now under the Malebolgia's watchful eye. The officer in training who's native to the earth, the one formerly called Lieutenant Colonel Al Simmons.
Come, my pets. Let me amuse you with another tale. Though they all resist, the Hellspawn has always become great leaders for my army. Those that survive the training. There have been a few disappointments. It is their internal struggles back on their home planet which intrigue me. The hunt, if you will.
As his cryptic dissertation unfolds, the inhabitants, both resident and damned, shift closer. The Malebolgia leans back and smiles.
Let me update you on our newest selection. Our newest spawn.
God. Everything's so messed up. I'm not thinking straight anymore. Not using my training like I should. This whole thing is about me and Wanda. I've been so damn distracted by all this unbelievable crap. The mafia, hitmen, cops, even the boys in the alley. But at least I've stopped hiding like some cowering dog. Now they know I exist and what I'm capable of. Balls in their court. Let's see if they come up with some better answers about what I've become. All I know is that since I've got these powers, I become some friggin' magnet for everybody's anger. Plus, I seem to be using the conflicts as a way of avoiding having to face Wanda again. Like I'm stalling.
You're not. You're acquiring knowledge. Though you aren't aware of that.
Who?
Surely, it hasn't been so long that you've forgotten your friend the Count. Your life has become somewhat complicated. Wouldn't you agree?
How do you know so much about me? What the hell are you anyway?
I'm not your concern. You torture yourself for answers that, mostly, you've been given. You're just not trying hard enough. Much as I tempted to write you off, you do show some spark. So let's go over what you do know. And stop me if any of this is new to you. You're Al Simmons. You died. Made a pact with the devil. Not the devil. And returned to Earth. You have power beyond belief. A costume melded with your skin. And a body made of 400 pounds of psychoplasm. You fought demons, devils, angels, cyborgs. The proverbial 9 yards. But none of that bothers you because you just want your normal life back. Wouldn't we all?
But why me?
Why? Because the devil chooses only those who have great capacity for evil. It comes from within something you're born with. Though you deny your evil side, the devil thinks your inner darkness can be harnessed for his cause.
Which is?
Armageddon. The final clash between heaven and hell. Your side must be thoroughly prepared for the war. For countless years, the Malebolgia has been gathering souls for his army. One day, the command will be given and the forces of darkness will begin their assault on the gates of heaven. Those, Al, will be the true days of judgment.
The monologue continues.
Though my hellspawn are permanently ensnared, they continue to test the boundaries of their cage. They will scurry around, at first hoping, dreaming that there is a way out. But there is none. They have two choices only. Acquire the troops and aspire the loyalty afforded a first-rate officer, or perish, and then answer eternally for frustrating me in the pursuit of my goals. Let's see how our dear Al Simmons deals with this situation.
Leaning backwards, the Malebolgia pushes his feet further into the searing flames. Nearer climbed the lesser spawn, anxious to learn why it was Simmons picked from among the multitude of deserving damned.
I see that you too are looking for answers. How ironic that as Simmons tortures himself, casting about for answers. You as future troops are curious about those same questions. Why him? Why Al Simmons?
A smile crosses his cracked lips. The storyteller relishes the adoration of the rapt, if captive audience.
Let me tell you what makes a true hellspawn.
So I'm just a puppet. That's encouraging. Things were so simple when I was alive. I followed orders, killed what the government told me, and collected a steady paycheck. But now this? I don't have a home or a wife to go back to, and all I seem to do is fight someone else's battles.
No one said being dead was going to be easy, Al.
Ain't that the truth? Tell me something, Count. Why put me in the future 5 years? What's the point?
A test. One of many you must pass to fulfill your destiny. The devils, by nature, are tricksters. They thrive on bending the rules of every game they play. You wanted back to Earth. He gave you that. Unfortunately, having never been dead before, you weren't aware of your rights. Since you didn't specify any conditions with your request, the Malebolgia granted you the time to see your wife. That's all. He gave you one thing. Everything else was his to determine. A pretty sour trade, I'd say. But don't feel bad. There have been plenty of others. You're not the only one that suffers.
Hey, Al! Al! Got a minute? I need you to meet a friend. I told him you could help. You know, do some of your magic.
What are you talking about?
I know we never met formally, but I live around here too. Seen all the crazy stuff that's been happening. Well, anyways, this here's Fred Barnett, an old pal from way back. He's got a bit of a problem. Doesn't know what to do. So I told him you could possibly help. Give him the scoop, Freddy.
Evening, sir. Yesterday, the courts took my daughter away from me. After 12 years, they just took my baby from me. They say I'm not fit to be a parent any longer, and it's all because of money. The judge says I've got to provide better, give her more things, then I can have my little Katie back. Please, sir, I don't have anywhere else to go. No one wants to help. They say their hands are all tied. Eric here said you've been helping folks out since you arrived. He says you protect the poor. Well, I'm telling you, I lost my little girl because I'm poor. Are you guys nuts? I'm not some walking bank machine. If I could make money, I sure wouldn't be living in the alleys. Grab a clue, guys. I'm here to stop anyone from hassling those on my turf, especially anyone who's after me. I protect the folks within my area, not those from outside. Now go. And don't you ever do this again, Eric.
Bite me! Sorry, Fred. I thought he was someone who gave a damn.
What will I do now?
You shouldn't be so harsh. They see you as a savior. Everyone else thinks you're evil.
They're getting too cocky. Some of the guys think I'll take care of everything. Good old Al, he'll fix it. Obviously, I'm giving them a false sense of security.
No. You've given them hope. It's something most of them had lost.
Power. It both motivates and ensnares the truly chosen. The spawn is being hunted by every agency imaginable, and the only thing that can save him is his infernally inspired power. I transform the recruits into creatures of magic. Eventually they learn that their inner pool of energy will one day be drained. It is then that the training begins in earnest. Their rebirth places them at a four-way crossroad. They can do nothing, lock themselves away from their surroundings, which turns their hearts cold. In time, very gradually, their energies are spent anyway. They convince themselves they're heroic while unwittingly acting on the impulses which damned them in the first place. They will single out and punish the evil ones around them. Evil souls which then are mine. They may choose the path of darkness, aggressively dispatching those most venal and vicious who've earned their place here. Or they may despair and perish through carelessness or design. In any case, the spawn will return to me either as valued officers or as a source of nourishment for my hungry armies.
The sub-overlord casts a spastic arm forward. It's a gesture of triumph.
What are you telling me?
Just beware. There are infinite numbers of forces in our reality, and each has an agenda it wishes to fulfill.
Meaning I'd better get used to all this crap, because it's here to stay.
Not exactly. Watch very carefully. Look, listen and learn. Things may not always be as they seem. You're a marked man, Al. Anything may happen at any time. In fact, your next encounter is just a few seconds away.
What are you jabbering about?
Suddenly, he's gone, vanished in a glowing prismatic plume. From the color of its sparkles, Count Nicholas Cagliostro knows it's been sent from above. The layers of heaven are just as multitudinous as those of hell, after all.
Learn, my friend.
Mr. Simmons? Might we talk?
What? Jesus, lady!
Call me Gabrielle. Mr. Simmons, if I might have a moment of your time, I really would like to talk to you.
I don't have time to talk.
Oh, yes, you do. Though it may not appear that way.
Huh?
Nothing can harm us in here, and we're now outside of time as it's usually perceived. Wine? I have a fine chilled chablis I can personally recommend.
This, my life. Everything's so screwed up.
Nonsense. But sit down, sit down. You're making me nervous.
What is this place?
It's a dimensional umbrella. You're still in New York, but we're also sitting in the grounds of a small inn in the Loire Valley. Something to eat? The crepe Suzettes here are quite out of this world.
This is good. First wine I've had since I died. I'm not hungry. Why have you kidnapped me?
I've ordered some strawberries for myself. Even angels watch their waistlines. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a kidnapping, Mr. Simmons. More of an intermission. Do you remember her?
Her? Sure. She came at me out of nowhere, months ago, and tried to kill me.
That's our girl. All the subtlety of a Sherman tank. Her name's Angela. She hunts things. Particularly things like you.
Why?
Why not? She's an angel, you're a creature of hell. She probably wanted to hang your head on her trophy room wall.
And you're an angel too.
You and I are on opposite sides, Mr. Simmons. This meeting is simply to allow us to exchange some information. You see the lance that Angela's holding in that picture?
Sure. She attacked me with it. Later I touched one of the buttons on the side. Blew me to the darnest sort of dream I've ever had.
It did nothing of the sort. Merci beaucoup, Pierre. Strawberry, Mr. Simmons? No? It merely redefined you briefly in terms of levels of reality. Quite how you got back is a puzzle to all of us. You must have some very powerful friends. So Angela definitely left the lance behind her when she fled?
Yes.
Do you have any idea where it is now?
No. It wasn't in the alley when I got back.
Pity. Well, thank you for all your help, Mr. Simmons. You've been very helpful. I can't see that bitch Angela wriggling her way out of this one. Don't worry about the check. It's all taken care of. You've been very helpful. And Mr. Simmons, war is coming. Sooner or later, you're going to have to choose sides. Hell on Earth and Heaven on Earth are going to be equally as inhospitable to the people who currently inhabit Earth on Earth. If you follow me. And you don't want to get caught in the middle, do you?
Jesus, what the hell?
Heaven, actually. Though not the one you or I were taught about. They keep small pieces of it in different time continuums.
How do you know all this? Are you some kind of god?
Heh. Not very likely. I'm just a man, much like yourself. Been through a few wars, too. Thought I was a big shot. Could beat anyone. I was wrong. They won. Not completely, but enough to neutralize my efforts. Now, I'm not alone in looking to he who may be the one to stand up to these many factions and win. And believe me, Al, this is definitely about winning.
What about these angels that seem to keep popping up?
They have a need for you too, but I can't put my finger on what it might be.
Well, when you do call me, I need a break from all this. See you around.
Yes. Even Heaven is out to get our Simmons spawn. Now he is completely disoriented, groping for answers. Good, bad, up, down. He doesn't know which way to turn.
Like a bad comedian, the Malebolgia laughs at his own rhetoric. Tensing unexpectedly, he squishes the unlucky listener perched in his callous hand.
Soon, very soon, he will find his answer. When he does, it will consume him as it has the others before him. Power. It's your calling. It's in your blood. How I do enjoy this game.
The game will have an end, but its length will depend upon the creativity of its players. 2 nights later.
That ripple a bit powerful for you, Al?
Take it easy, Count. I'm finally out of my mood swing, and now you want to raid on my parade? For the moment I feel alive. Almost. Hey fellas, did I tell you that your great and powerful leader got suckered by some fat little slice and dice clown a few weeks back? Yep. I gave the runner a portion of my energy so he could rip his brothers apart. Unfortunately, it left me eating dust for a day. Then the little guy came back to give me what he'd taken. Can you imagine? Excuse me. A demon keeping his word by returning, but not before he laid a good shellacking to my head. Am I awesome or what? Hey, come on, guys. No one's laughing. What's the problem?
You could have helped him. Done something.
I'm not going to help no blue-faced piece of...
Not him. I'm talking about my friend Fred.
Who the hell is Fred?
You don't remember? Here, maybe this will refresh your memory.
My God.
How do you feel now, hero? Forget it. Never mind. He was from the outside. He didn't count.
Stunned by the news, Spawn shrinks away from the glare of accusing eyes.
That's it. Run away, you loser.
Somewhere in time, tens of millions of twisted souls howl with laughter. Loudest among them is their storyteller. It will be some considerable time before the maniacal sounds die down. Lost in the most obscure shadows of a decaying city walks a dead man. Tonight, for the first time since his return, he feels dead.
Welcome back. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to become part of the C-Dub Army. Also, give the Twitch and Twitter a follow and ring the bell to be notified. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving. Malebolgia, just you wait.